Welcome back to the Lights Out podcast, bedtime stories for boys and girls around the world. Good evening, boys and girls. Are you ready for bed? Are you all snuggled up and ready for another Lights Out bedtime story? Good, because you're in for a treat tonight. Because tonight's story is called 7 Blind Mice by Ed Young. And this is another Caldecott Medal winner for you tonight. Are you ready? It's a snake, says Green Mouse. It's a fan, cries Orange Mouse. It's a spear, proclaims Yellow Mouse. One by one, 6 different colourblind mice investigate the strange something by the pond. And one by one they come back with a different theory. It's only when the 7th mouse goes out and explores the complete something that the mice see the whole truth. Caldecott Honour Book winner by Ed Young. Once upon a time. Are you ready for this? Wow, I'm so happy to be back telling stories. It's like getting back to the gym after a month off. Right. Once upon a time. On Monday, Red Mouse went first to find out. "It's a pillar," he said. No one believed him. On Tuesday, Green Mouse set out. He was the second to go. "It's a snake," he said. "No," said Yellow Mouse on Wednesday. "It's a spear." He was the third in turn. The fourth was Purple Mouse. He went on Thursday. "It's a great cliff," he said. Orange Mouse went on Friday, the 5th to go. "It's a fan," he cried. "I felt it move." The 6th to go was Blue Mouse. He went on Saturday and said, "It's nothing but a rope." But the others didn't agree, and they began to argue. A snake, a rope, a fan, a cliff. Until on Sunday, White Mouse, the 7th mouse, went to the pond. When she came upon the something, she ran up one side and she ran down the other. She ran across the top from one end to the other. "Ah," said White Mouse, "now I see. The something is as sturdy as a pillar, as supple as a snake, as wide as a cliff, as sharp as a spear, as breezy as a fan, as stringy as a rope. But altogether the something is an elephant." And when the other mice ran up one side and down the other, across the something from end to end, they agreed. Now they saw too. The mouse moral: knowing in part may make a fine tale, but wisdom comes from seeing the whole. Wow, that's a very excellent book called 7 Blind Mice by Ed Young. About 6 mice who see parts of an elephant and they all say it's something else, like a snake or a rope or a fan or a cliff or a pillar. But the 7th mouse sees the whole thing and knows it's an elephant. So, looking at bits, you might be wrong, but once you can see the whole, that's when you know. Anyway, good night. And that's 7 Blind Mice, here on the Lights Out podcast. Bedtime stories for boys and girls and mice around the world. Good night.